Hello, this is Leonardo DiCaprio. Press the free like button if you believe that I'm a better actor than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He plays The Rock in every action movie he's in. He has no range or depth at all in his films.
So, I heard that Wardlow wants out of All Elite Pro Wrestling. I'm like, dang, dude, like, why didn't you want out 2 years ago? Because I've been saying for the past 2 years, they have dropped the ball on Wardlow. And it's all Tony Khan's fault. He doesn't know how to book big guys, but at the same time, he doesn't want to learn how to book big guys. Hell, I think his all-time favorite fake pro wrestlers are all small men. He does not like big guys. He treats all big guys as lackeys for his favorite small men. That's the problem. He doesn't like big guys. He don't like Powerhouse Hobbs. He don't like Wardlow. He don't like Lance Archer. He don't like Big Cass. He treats every big guy like a jobber. Hell, he books enhancement talent as big guys as jobbers. Every time Hook faces a jobber, it's always a big guy. Why is that? Why does Tony Khan hate big men? But I'm glad Wardlow has finally woke up and realized, listen, this guy don't like you. You will never be a star in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. And that's creepy, man. It's like, dang, man. It's like, if you are a big guy, stay away from this company. Because you will be booked as a jobber or a lackey. Or a guy that just takes pins for no reason. And who is not a threat to small men. Imagine being a big guy, but you are not a threat to all the small men in this company. Every time I see a small man facing a big guy, I'm like, okay, I know what's up. You are going to lose to put over this small man to further a storyline. That's facts. Look at Big Cass. Okay, so you were the muscle of Ricky Starks. Now you are the muscle of Chris Jericho. Just like how Jack Swagger was the muscle of Chris Jericho. That's a weird thing. Wardlow is the muscle of 4 other small men now. That's a weird thing. That's how Khan views big guys. Nothing more than heaters and muscle men and fucking bodyguards. That's it. That's whack. If you want to draw some money, how about you push big men? Why are big guys treated as jobbers in your company? So let's go back for the top. So Wardlow, his first run was great. His storyline with Max, that was great. Don't try to duplicate it, man. I'm like, wow, you're not supposed to do that. That's like Diesel being a bodyguard 2 times. You can't do it. That's like Psycho Sid being a bodyguard 2 times. You can't do it. That's like Dave Bautista being a bodyguard 2 times. You can't do it. So, the point I'm trying to make is, let's go back to Wardlow being the manager of Max. That was great stuff. Remember, there was a point in time where Max told Wardlow, hey, if you ever win the TNT Championship, you have to give it to me. Okay, fast forward later, Wardlow, he is back in that same storyline with another small man. So Adam Coleslaw told him, hey, when you win the world title, you have to give that belt to me. I'm like, hold on, man. Like, y'all just did this with Max. So why do it again? That's lazy. I'm like, that is shit booking. I'm like, be more creative. So his beef with Max, that was great. He got over it because Max was a fucking bully. He was a great bodyguard for Max, but Max was a bully to Wardlow, and that got over Wardlow. People felt sorry for Wardlow because Max was a bully. So Wardlow, he finally turns on Max, but he got mega over though. He got mega over. So Max, he wrestled Wardlow. That was a great match because Max, dude, he took like what, 5-10 power bombs? I'm like, when a guy takes that many power bombs, you have to capitalize on that shit. He was the best heel in the company. You capitalize on it. So, but they didn't. Man, like the moment he did this to Wardlow, I said, no what, man, fuck Wardlow, man. That's what I said. Remember? I think CM Junk, he had to forfeit his world title. So they had a tournament, right? They had a fucking tournament. And Wardlow, he chose not to enter the goddamn tournament. He chose not to enter the Battle Royal. He said, I don't want to be the interim champion like this. Bruh, he didn't want to be the interim world champion. He said he would rather face a fully healthy CM Junk. I'm like, bruh, you can do that, but at the same time, why not go for the world title? Because then you can fight for it and fucking unify it. So what are you doing? That right there told me that Khan does not like big guys, and he found every excuse in the book not to give Wardlow that world title, because that makes no fucking sense. So, on camera, in a promo, he chose to go after the TNT Championship, and he turned down entering the Battle Royal to decide who was going to face Dean Ambrose for the world title. I'm like, wow, you turned that down to become a TNT champion? A garbage championship that nobody cared about back then. I'm like, wow, you just turned him into Lex Luger. You just turned him into Braun Strowman. A dumb babyface, because that makes no sense. I don't care if it's a fucking interim or not interim. I don't care if it's a fucking Toys R Us belt. I want to win it. Who cares about the circumstances? You win it. Who gives a fuck if CM Junk is hurt? That's his business. Okay, this company needs a world champion in the meantime. You could have been that. So, wow, like, that's what I mean. That's why I made tons of videos saying, Con Man hates big guys, because who writes that? That's bad booking. You are burying Wardlow as a dumb guy. That's a burial. Because, okay, what makes you so special, more so than the other guys that was in that Battle Royal? What makes you so special, right? Like, that made no sense. Everybody in the audience were so disappointed that he turned down being in the Battle Royal because he was so hot. He was hot. You strike while the iron is hot. He just dominated the biggest heel in the company, so you take advantage. And they didn't. So this idiot, he goes after the TNT Championship and he wins it, but guess what? Nobody cared. Bruh, in fact, his stock went down the moment he won the TNT Championship. Let that sink in. Like, bruh, imagine being less over the moment you become a champion. Well, that's on him. That's on Tony Khan, man. That made no sense. If this was the World Wrestling Federation, they would have struck while iron is hot. That's what they would have done. So yes, Wardlow has not been over ever since he turned down being in that Battle Royal. Because I said, bruh, you gotta give Wardlow the world title. I don't care how long, just give it to him. I don't care if it's interim. So, you're saying that he's bigger than being the interim champion? Look here, bitch. Nobody cared that Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose won that championship. People felt like CM Junk was a paper champion, a fragile champion. And that's facts. So, Dean Ambrose winning back that world title, it makes sense. In terms of, okay, he was safe. But nobody cared that he was the interim champion. They called him the fucking real world champion. That's facts. They didn't call him the interim champion. They called him the real world champion. Because if the top star is gone, okay, somebody has to take his place. That could have been Wardlow, right? What a dumbass. So he goes on an awful run of beating jobbers. They didn't know what to do with Wardlow. Then he goes into a feud with Samoa Joe. Joe makes him look bad, and he cut off his ponytail. That was a burial. Then, hold on. I think Samoa Joe, he beat Wardlow for the TNT Championship, and then weeks later, Darby Allin beats him. I'm like, bruh, ever since then, Wardlow has been buried. Nobody takes him seriously. Like, bruh, you lost to Samoa Joe. Then weeks later, Joe loses to Darby Allin. Yes, that's a burial. Because yo ass can't beat Joe, but small Darby Allin can. Yeah, that makes you look bad. Then they tried to give him a manager with Arn Anderson. That was bad. Arn Anderson, that was a bad pairing. The fact that Arn Anderson was the manager for Wardlow, that made no sense. So, my point is, his stock has been going down ever since he turned down being the interim world champion. He has been going down. Nobody cares about the TNT championship. So, fast forward, this guy, he joins the Undisputed Kingdom, a worthless faction that nobody cares about. The fact that he's back being in a faction as the muscle, as the bodyguard, that means, bruh, Con-Man does not like you and he don't care if you stay or you leave. He don't care because that's lazy. That means he has no plans for you. That's laziness. You put this guy back in a faction as the muscle, so that's all he's good for? A fucking bodyguard? That's it. So Wardlow, he is not top guy material, but Orange Cassidy is. Wardlow is not a top guy, but Orange Cassidy is. That's a bad picture. So he leaves Max as his bodyguard, and then the next year he becomes the bodyguard for Adam Coleslaw. So now we are back to square one, where he's not growing. He's going backwards. Now he's back in a faction where he's not talking, he's not cutting promos, he's just the muscle and the bodyguard, which means, bruh, his stock has fallen. You don't become a multi-time TNT champion, and now he's back being in a faction as the muscle, and he ain't saying shit. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So yes, Wardlow has finally said, fuck it, I want to leave. Finally, he finally knows All Elite Wrestling is not the place for him. I'm glad he knows it now, right? I'm glad I was not going crazy. I'm like, bro, why are you going back in the faction? Like, what? Why are you going back to being the bodyguard of a small man? I'm like, bro, you going backwards. So I'm glad he woke up and realized, yes, bitch, you are going backwards. So I'm glad he wants to be released. Finally. So when Wardlow leaves, obviously he's going to the World Wrestling Federation. Now, what is his upside? Man, huge upside. Man, that's all Triple H does, is book big guys strong. That's all he does. He loves big guys. He loves Wardlow. That's the guy he wants. Nick Khan wants Wardlow. So, listen, Triple H is going to show you how you book Wardlow. Why? Because his idol is Dave Bautista. That's why Wardlow will be just fine in the World Wrestling Federation. His idol is Dave Bautista. So he's going to be in the hands of a guy who discovered Dave Bautista, and that's Triple H. Listen, he's going to book Wardlow as the next Dave Bautista. I can't believe Con-Man don't realize this. I'm like, bro, you just buried a future WrestleMania main eventer. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You just buried a potential SummerSlam main eventer. You just buried a future Royal Rumble winner. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So, what is his upside? I think he's going to be called up straight to the main roster. He's not going to NXT. I see him being undefeated for maybe 2 years. That's how strong Triple H is going to book Wardlow. He's going to be undefeated for a very, very long time on the main roster. What will be his first belt? I would give him the U.S. Championship. I think that will be his first belt. Then eventually he will go after the world title. Maybe not the WWE title, but he's going after the world title. I think that is a great start for a Wardlow. But he will be a Royal Rumble winner. That's a fact. So, listen, he will be a top guy. He will be the next Dave Bautista. He has everything they are looking for in a WWF superstar. Height, size, great look, and I'm glad that he grew back his ponytail. So now he looks more better. He has a way better look for the World Wrestling Federation. Listen, Triple H is going to book this guy strong just to spite Tony Khan, man. Look at Jay Cargill. Bruh, this chick has had only 4-5 matches, and she's already a champion. Just imagine a Wardlow. See what I'm saying? I think Wardlow was the best choice to dethrone Gunther the Ringerel. That's my point. This dude has tons of dream matchups. Fucking Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Chad Gable, Cody fucking Rhodes, fucking Logan Paul, Finn Balor, who else? Dane Priest. He has tons of dream matchups. That's what I mean. Who else? Fucking Roman Reigns. Tons of matchups. Solo Sikoa. Like, this dude has tons of matchups on Raw and SmackDown. But wow, like, Khan, man, don't you know? Like, you are burying a future top guy for your competition. It's like, that ain't good. So, to make a long story short, Khan, man, is a fool. It's like, bruh, I don't know why you was burying a future superstar for the World Wrestling Federation. He could have helped you. So now, years later, we will look back in hindsight and say, man, how did Tony Khan, man, fuck up Wardlow? How did Khan, man, not want to resign Jay Cargill? That's crazy. Okay, I'm done.